I also wanted to just give you an update on the steering wheel is in. I hear the horn clicking, so it's going to work. I just don't have a horn. Actually, let's make sure the blinkers are all working. Oh, I'll let you hear it run. It actually does start now. Been sitting a while, but there she goes. I gotta tune it up. I got wires, I got plugs. We'll get her tuned up. I don't want to kill myself in this garage. Alright. Just wanted you to hear it run. I'm still waiting to get some more wire looms and straighten this out. It looks like a mess. I had to actually unloom this because I didn't have enough wire for the headlight, so I'm glad I had extra. But once I do it, I'll reloom it all, and I'll start cutting some of these shorter, like I said. It'll look good. You'll see. Alright guys, I'm installing the buckets now on the headlights. That's this right here. I actually installed one so far, just 3 screws, and then I'll do this one. I'll show you how I did it on this one. I ran into a little issue now that I was going to put this headlight in, but the rings that come with it don't fit. They're very, very tight. And I'm going to split this right here if I try to push it. So what I'm going to do is take my grinding wheel and I'm going to just go around this edge a little bit, not to ruin it, but just to make it fit. It's just about not fitting, as you can see right there. So I'll hit this with the wheel till I get it in. Just a hair off. I want to crack this plastic lens. It's almost there. But I got to be able to spin it to line it up. The old one sits right on. I might just use the old one. See if the old ones line up. If they do, I'll just clean it off with some steel wool and just use them. This is getting a little crazy. I don't know if the holes line. They don't line up. Well, of course they got to make them a little different. So. Alright, I gotta go back to grinding this. I'm gonna take care of that and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Alright guys, I got the first one ground down and I can still kind of move it a little bit so I can line it up once I put it in. So, I gotta see, this has, so I look to see if I can get the blinker and parking lights in the same one. Doesn't really tell you which is which, so I may have to try it before I put it in fully. So what I'm going to do is switch these so I can plug them in here. Okay, so I hooked the light up temporarily before I put it in fully. I put the 2 wires on. One is supposed to be like a parking light and one's supposed to be an amber blinker. So I might have them switched, so I want to check it before I put everything in there so I know which one is which. So let's see. Okay, so that's the wrong one. I'm hoping it's amber. So let's switch them. There it is. Your blinker has to be amber, and your parking light should be white. Just check, see if it's... If I put the headlight on, parking light, headlight. So if I have the parking light on and I put the blinker on, uh-oh, I don't see it blinking. That's a glitch in the matrix. It blinks without it on. With it on, it's not blinking. Kind of like that though. Alright, so looks like I gotta pick one. The Beetle is not set up for, the wiring is not set up to have parking and the blinker in the same bulb, I guess. So I'm just gonna go with the halos, and I'll make these little guys down here the blinkers. So let's see if that would work. Would have been nice if the blinker worked. Right front turn. Okay. So let's say I wanted to make this the turn signal. I guess I'll test it. Let's see. Okay, I wanted this. I guess I'm gonna end up, I don't want to put another light in here. I think I'm gonna end up making this just a blinker up here since it's the amber color. And I will do without the parking halo. I kind of think that's more cooler. Anyway, and then we can use this as the parking. It's actually two. So I do need a blinker, and it must be amber, so let me know what you think. I think I'm going to keep this as the blinker and the regular headlight. I think that's pretty cool. And then I'll make these just a double fog light, either just a ring. Actually, I can probably hook the ring to the headlight one, and then I'll make the fog light a separate switch. So I'll have the little rings with the parking lights. Let's see if that would work. Let's see. Wow, it's blinking. Okay, headlights are on. Right. So I want to put just the halos with the headlights. So I can have that. Oh, that's just the halo. Okay, so the halo is yellow, and the fog light would be separate. Unless I just do them both together, like that, and forego the other switch. I think that's the plan. Alright guys, gonna go with the blinker, with the headlight. Okay guys, I got one headlight in. Took a lot of playing around. I don't know if it's because the aftermarket, Baja fenders are a pain in the ass, or it's this empty bucket that's just cheap shit. I don't know, but I'm not really happy with these buckets. There's not much adjustment on it. I feel like it's kind of too high, but I unscrewed the top as much as I could to level it, and we'll have to see how it is in the dark, but that's as good as I can get it. I did leave it as the blinker is in the headlight ring, and so what I'm going to do is I pulled this other wire out of the back of the bucket. That's the parking lights. Those are going to be my fog lights on the bottom underneath the bar here. You can see them right there. So I'll make those the parking lights. So we have the big round blinker, headlight, and some parking lights. I think that'll look pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to try to work on this one now. The buckets are also hard to get in because whoever had this buggy decided to cut the holes as big as they can, and there's really hardly anywhere to screw them in. I'm a little afraid the headlight's going to come flying out of it. So what I might do is, where the screws are in the inside, if I decide, I'll put like a big washer behind it, kind of, to hold it in better. But we'll see. And right now it's good. So do this one next. Alright, so when you put the bucket in, put you down here, you have to take this end off for the headlight. You have to pull these off, remember where they are, and put them through the hole, through this hole. But you also have to put them through this rubber grommet. Not very easy to do with the ends already on it, and that's the way it came. But you have to basically push them through. The first one goes very easy. It's the other ones that, once there's a wire in the way, are a little hard to do. If you can't get these out, you have to push in on the inside. The screwdriver's too big. I have a screwdriver here. Okay, so you get them out. Don't lose this. And now try to get them finagled. Finagle, big word. Like I said, once there's one in there, it gets harder and harder to do. It would have been easier to put the wire through the other way if I would have known. There's two. I push the other two wires with it so it doesn't have to scrape along them. It takes a bit, but you can get it. That's those three. And then you have the other wire. This is the one for the blinker, right? Left front turn. This actually requires the opposite, so I have to cut this end off. And then you put these three back. You have to make sure you pull open that little tab so it locks them in, because you had to push these tabs in to get them out. Now you have to remember where they go on here, so I took a picture. Just no matter how much you think you know, you're better off having something to show you. Don't guess, don't guess. Anyway, I'm gonna test it. I will retest it with the headlight and make sure it's okay. And guess what? I just screwed up again anyway. This has to come back off, because you got to get it through the hole in the bucket as well. So I got to take this back off again. You got to get through this little hole, so you ain't gonna get through the hole with that on there. Push this plug in there, seals out any water, and then you have to install the bucket like so. I'll put a couple screws in it, and then I'll finish up. But it's getting late, so I'll finish this in the morning. Well, actually after work. It's 9 o'clock. Alright guys, thanks for watching again, and we'll do a little more tomorrow. These things are like the most chintziest setup. This has to go underneath this ridge and then spread these out. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but see that? How it gets clipped in there. I actually broke this top clip on this one to get it on because it's plastic junk. You can't force it. It's gotta line up. That one went in. Quite fortunate. This one went. This one cracked on me. And you got one screw at the bottom. Headlights are in. Looking good. Okay, I neatened up some of the wiring. Put the wire loom with some covers on it. Shortened up some wires. Still needs a little bit more. Put the glove box back in. I put the blinkers in the front that I was talking about. Not using the single blinker, but going with two blinkers. That's where I put them in. On each side of the ashtray. So those are my blinkers now down there. And the one that was in the, the speedometer I'm not using. So those will blink now when I put each blinker on. Let me see if I can... There's something wrong with this column blinker. I am only getting one now. Yeah, something's wrong. Okay. Okay, they both work. Looks like there's an issue with this column blinker handle. I'll see what's going on with that. That's the emergency flasher. So everything's working, but it seems to be some kind of issue with the blinker itself. It's old. I'll see what they cost. I got no problem changing it. I know how to take this apart very easily now, so I'll check it out. Put the glove box back in. Everything's taking shape. This is for the interior lights. I'll probably end up doing is putting an inline switch and running some lights up all around the edge. See if I can get like a strip of LED to go fit all the way around the whole thing. That'll look pretty cool, and I'll just have a switch and that'll illuminate the whole roof. As you can see, I don't know if you saw that, but this blinker here is a little worn out. I gotta buy a new one. It's not got, like, I don't know, maybe it's shortened it, or it's just not contacting properly. It's old. Right now I'm fixing all the wiring. I decided to get rid of these ones that pull it out. They're very easy to come out. I'm gonna make them permanent because I had wrapped it up, put it inside the wire loom, and one of them unplugged. Yeah, I could probably put tape over them, but I also noticed that even though they're squeezed in, they can actually pull out as well. Actually, the wires like that, they're not in that well. And I'm shortening them as I go along, so there's not as much to wrap inside the wire loom. Just taking a little bit off. These go together with a heat gun, and they shrink around the wire so they won't come off. Then they have solder inside of them, which melts them together. Just kind of wrap them together, slide it inside, and then use the heat gun. This heat gun is more powerful than I thought as well. It's a Seek 1 heat gun. It's got 2 speeds on the back. It's 1800 watts, and it gets hot real quick. You can't touch that metal. I'm gonna wrap it. The next one, okay, and we'll melt this one. Okay. If you look close, you can actually see it where it melted the solder. I'll give you the link where I purchased those from, and the heat gun. Okay, the next one happens to be 4 wires, so I'm using the bigger yellow one, and I'm going to put all 4 wires together if I can solder them together. So I got 2 more wires left. I'm going to finish that up and then tuck them underneath. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to tune in, and I'll see you next time.